This is the revised and expanded second edition of Meet the Puritans from Beakey, Patterson, and Jones, and many others over from Reformation Heritage Books. And the title does exactly what it suggests. It's a great, robust, yet accessible and not shallow volume that has 45 new biographies, so a total of 190 English and American Puritans, 17th century Scottish Presbyterians, and Dutch further Reformation divines, and that's how it's broken up, is between those three. It has 278 new summaries of the Puritan works with the annotated bibliographies of the modern reprints, so very useful, as well as 200 new titles have been added to those select bibliography and secondary sources. And very useful is the expanded glossary, as well as a list of Puritan publishers. And I can't attest to the first edition because it was released years ago, and this is a much needed lift, I'm sure, but a comprehensive revision of the entire previous edition. Now, I really do like this dust cover. It feels great. Obviously, I like Matt, and I love the art that's on there. But I will say, one thing that I enjoy is when books have a great quality and feel to them underneath. And this is just, again, it's Reformation Heritage Books. It's just nice and quality and feels good. And this is how it sits on my nightstand, and I read from it every night. So let's dive into it a little bit so you can get a feel. Obviously, there's the recommendations from great individuals who speaks highly to this work. Meet the Puritans, a guide to their lives and books. That is exactly what it is. It's a guide. And I'd argue it's actually a great survey, because maybe you're interested in reading the Puritans, you don't know where to begin, or you've already been reading a lot of Puritans that have been suggested or more mainstream, and this will give you a greater survey into more than just one Puritan. So you can meet many Puritans. And the contents include abbreviations, as well as how should I use this book and where and how to begin reading the Puritans, both of which are probably very useful for those of you who are maybe a little bit intimidated by the Puritans. And then the author's favorite Puritans, also a delightful read. Goes right into the three different groups. So English Puritans, an introduction. This one has a little bit of a brief history on English Puritanism, which is really good, as well as the world of English Puritans, Church and Academy. And then you'll find that everything is chronological order by last name with the page. And so you can see here are the English Puritans, and there are many. I'm excited to go through each one at a time. Otherwise, you could come in here and find exactly who you're looking for and some of their titles and works. So very useful as we get into the Scottish Presbyterians and the Dutch further Reformation divines. And no small feat is the glossary and the select Puritan bibliography of secondary sources. So both, and then there is an authors and titles section, as well as about the authors. But that glossary is very useful. So is the Puritan bibliography at the end, which we'll look at. I'm going to go to an example of a Puritan that you'll probably read pretty early on if you get this volume. And it's also a more concise one, so I think it's very helpful for this. But you can see here we have the Puritan name, the date of their life, and then this is a short biography, a page and a half. You can read this in easily a few minutes and find great encouragement. Overall, what I would say is this is a great volume if you're trying to actually consider Hebrews 12, the great cloud of witnesses, as we are in the race of endurance, right, to the Lord Jesus Christ to finish the race. And you'll find that as you read this, it's one, humbling, and two, it's inspiring, and three, it's encouraging as you're living a life that's pursuing the Lord Jesus Christ. Then what you get is their works by title. It'll give how many pages that title is and the date of publication of that title. And it'll give a summary as it suggests. And these summaries are actually really good. It's, it could be a sentence, say this is what this book's about, but they'll even quote particular parts of that volume that are helpful. And so you can just read something like this and be very encouraged. You will meet all the Puritans. I am currently just reading through one Puritan a night. Sometimes they're shorter, sometimes they're longer, but overall there is a lot to be found in this volume. I just can't even believe how affordable this volume is and how how gracious of God to give it to us in this time of history. We get to have something like this to look to again, find encouragement. So we actually have at the end here, the glossary. So you can see this glossary is awesome. And then one thing that I really like is the Puritan bibliography. So for example, you can go in here and you can find whatever you need of the select Puritan bibliography, as well as it'll have the publisher and the date on that. So you can even Google that and then find that volume and start reading of it. So really practical, very accessible, a lot going on here, great quality, very affordable cost. And if you are intimidated by the Puritans or you love the Puritans and have been reading the Puritans for a long time, this is a high recommendation of mine because I'm personally deeply enjoying it, and I pray that it will encourage you in your walk with Christ. Thanks.